Welcome back to TSSR Weekly. I'm Ken Suter, and we are live from the West Prairie High School gym as regional volleyball just got over. Later in the show, we will have highlights for the two regional games of BPC and West Prairie, as West Prairie won to advance to the semifinals. However, Bushnell fell to United. Later in the show, we also have an interview with Coach John McCormick to discuss how his plans are for the playoff game that is coming this Saturday against the Polo Marcos. Also in the show, we will have highlights from last week's game for West Prairie Southeastern Cyclones against the Metro East Lutheran Knights. All that and more coming up next.
McDonough District Hospital's Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center was built for one goal: to strengthen women's health services in the region's premier facility. Our dedicated staff, past and present, delivered generations of MDH babies, and now in the new Women's Center, our staff is ready to deliver the next generation and beyond. Come visit the Dolores Cater Schweitzer Women's Center and see for yourself the MDH difference.
Welcome back to TSSR Weekly here with Coach John McCormick, the West Prairie Southeastern Cyclones. First year of 8-man football, first playoff game. How's it feel to get this type of success early?
Well, early on we wondered about, where we'd end up, but pretty proud of our kids and how they've, pulled together. I mean, we kind of talked a little bit Saturday after the game, same thing, but, I was kind of looking at our team picture, and I'm like, we got 12 of our 25 guys who never played football before. 25 out of 25 never played 8-man football. And, as a coach and as you're going through the season, you just kind of go week to week and, you win, you lose, whatever. But my wife actually kind of, when I got back Saturday, she's like, man, think about how far you guys have come. And I actually got to thinking about that. We still got a game ahead of us and we're in the playoffs and all that. But it is kind of nice sometimes to just look back at, I guess, your body of work and how much those guys have improved. And it's, I put it all on them. They're the guys that have to go out and make plays, and they've had to learn. We had kids, early on, hey, can I move when I'm on defense or have to stay set? Stuff like that, that you think, they would know. But, we didn't take anything really for granted on how much knowledge they had of football. You can watch football and still there's little things that they've really picked up on and really gotten better at, and really proud of our staff and our players for getting that across and the kids buying in and figuring out the game, really.
And one thing that kind of with this year, with the whole change from 8-man and the split up of the BWP co-op, that kind of slid through the cracks. A lot of people didn't even realize that West Prairie has consolidated with Southeastern, and getting those two teams to coexist together. Did you find early success with that, or was that just smooth sailing throughout, or did you have a little problems?
It's been pretty nice. We started lifting weights and getting together. We got together in Colchester, and I didn't know any of the Southeastern kids. We've got Coach Zaringer, who's new. He really doesn't know some of them either, but just once we got together, you look in the weight room and kids are all working together. There's not a Southeastern group here and a West Prairie group here. I think some of them played summer baseball a little bit together, so they kind of knew each other that way. But, as coaches, we didn't really know any of those guys. But one thing we noticed right away is how hard they worked and how they kind of got after in the weight room. They knew what to do in the weight room, and we knew, hey, if they can get that figured out, they're going to be able to figure out how to play football. It's a lot of it's effort, and they all have that, so that's good.
And one thing that we've talked about throughout the year is just how much better and evolving the offense has been for this team with Ashton Barkley, Eli Leisman, and Jensen Laughlin. But past couple of weeks, the defense has really shown up as well. Last week against Metro, which we will have highlights for later on during the show. Multiple takeaways on defense. Is the team finally getting around to the differences in the minutia between 11 and 8-man defensively and how you have to watch that cutback lane?
Yeah, I think so. And I think you try to put some speed on the field defensively. You try to get guys that can make plays and tackle in space. But we've got some athletes that we can stick out there. We've got some guys that come in and play D-line that they don't look like D linemen, but they get after it, and they fly around. And really in practice, it seems like the longer we practice, the more intense practices are getting. Usually this time of year, everybody's kind of, hey, let's take it easy. We don't want to bang each other up. But that's kind of, I think, not knowing a ton about, what's going on with football. I mean, the more we practice, it gets a little chippy even at times, so we got to kind of level them out. But, we kind of, we're playing to the whistle, and try to stay off the ground. Well, next thing you know, you got guys on the ground, you got guys hitting each other, and, at this time of year, you don't love to see that, but I kind of like to see it because, they're still kind of figuring out, hey, this is how we got to play the game, and I'd rather have to tell them to tone it down at practice than tell them to crank it up. So that's pretty good, to see.
And with them starting to get cranked up, first playoff game in Polo, 2.5 hours away. What's kind of your strategy with getting the team amped up after a 2.5-hour bus ride?
That's something like we've struggled with all year. We went to Hebron, which is 4.5 hours away. And I don't even know if we've still got it figured out yet, but it's kind of one of those deals where this is an extra week of football for us. We feel kind of fortunate that we're getting to do that, and it's kind of one of those deals. If you can't get excited for a playoff game, then I'm not sure.
What are you supposed to get excited about?
So, it's Wednesday. We got Thursday, Friday to get after it, and that's something we'll address. We'll talk about Friday about get to sleep. I think some of it's just adjusting what you do on Friday. I mean, we got to play on Saturday, so whatever you do on Friday, you're going to have to kind of adjust. Since you're a football player, you can't stay up all night playing video games or doing whatever you do. You've got to go to bed, and even though the bus might not leave till 9 o'clock, don't rely on sleeping on the bus, because once you do that, it takes you a quarter to wake up. So we're still working on trying to figure out how to master that. But I think Saturday they showed up, and we kind of had a slow start, but I think part of that was Metro East was playing hard, and I think we were too. It just took a while to wear them down and get what we needed to get done.
All right. Playoff game Saturday, I believe, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock?
1:30.
1:30.
Yeah.
Splitting the difference right between.
Yeah, so we split it in the middle.
Splitting the difference at Polo. We will have that live on TSSR Game Time Live. I believe me and John Reynolds will be on the call, and I'll have to find somebody to do camera like I always have to. Yeah. But I'd like to thank you for coming on TSSR Weekly. Yeah. You're welcome anytime, and we'll be back right after this break.
Get dinner to the table quickly, no matter how busy your day's been. True Convection Cooking uses a fan to distribute hot air evenly and cook food faster. So dinner is ready when they are. True Convection Cooking, brought to you by Whirlpool.
Coach, regular season's done with. Finished the season with a 4-5 record. Of course, we went down and played a pretty tough Pawnee team last week. I don't think we really need to go into much about that game. We talked about it after the game the other night, but going to make another 2-hour drive this weekend now. First round of the playoffs, going to go play a very tough Milledgeville team.
Yeah. Well, if nothing else, we should be used to a 2.5-hour bus ride. We went South Fork, we went to Decatur, we went down to Pawnee. I think maybe we should be used to the bus rides by now. I mean, we started off a little shorter with Peoria Heights, but maybe we should be used to these things.
I think the only difference is we're going north now instead of south.
Right? Yeah. And you look at temperature, for some reason, it sounds a little crazy, but it's going to be 2 degrees warmer up there than it is going to be here. I don't know why that's a thing, but definitely check the differences, and it's supposed to be a nice day. It's supposed to be just like today. I can handle that. It's good football weather.
You got a chance to see a Milledgeville on film yet, and what are you expecting out of them?
Yeah, we got to see it. I mean, they're going to be just like every other team we've seen. They like to throw the ball, but yet they have a good run attack. They can do either or. I just don't know what they're going to choose to do against us. I mean, obviously, I think we want to try to limit their run and make them throw a little bit, so that way we have a chance to get an interception, things like that. Get a good turnover. But we're planning on working against a bunch of formations that they have. They like to come to the line and then shift formations on us. They'll come up and double tight I for the most part, and then they'll come up double tight I, and then the next thing you know, they're in no back. All with a switch. So we got to be ready to adjust. Luckily, we've seen all those formations throughout the year. We just have to recall when and how we're going to handle it.
Last week you had some new guys in some new positions that they didn't play, I guess, starting at. They've had to fill in for injuries. What are you looking at this week? Have you got some of the injured players back?
Yeah.
Of course, we know Shane Shin's out.
Yeah.
We knew Keith Hoyle.
Yeah.
Well, we saw him come off. What are we looking at injury-wise this weekend?
I think Keith's will be out. I think he's going to be on the FFA thing anyway. But no, we should have Horwittle back. He should be good. He's been going through protocol to come back safely. So by the time we hit Thursday, Friday, he should be cleared to go. So, that would be nice to have some depth in that spot. And, we actually are going to try some different things where we might be able to keep him fresh for offense. So we actually like some of the stuff we're seeing on defense. So we'll be able to rotate him in to keep some guys fresh, if nothing else.
Well, Coach, I know you've got a busy week, and I kind of cut into some of your time here to get
okay.
you up here with us.
That's
but
all right.
we wish you luck this week. Congratulations on making the playoffs, first year 8-man football. Looking at the schedule on there and looking at some of the teams that didn't make the playoffs, there's some good teams that must have played some really, really tough competition going in, because there's some teams that didn't make it in.
Yeah, no, and we talk about that as a team. We have to be happy with first year playing 8-man and we make the playoffs. We got to be happy with that, but not satisfied. We want to go up and we want to show them that we can play football. Everybody talks about how good the North is and how good football is up there. We want to show them that, we can play too. They're going to be a good team. We know that. But like I said, we want to be happy with what we have, but we just don't want to be satisfied with it.
Coach, we wish you luck this weekend. Of course, we'll be up there to bring all the action live. Hopefully have a little better internet service maybe up there.
Yeah,
we can do it live instead of recording it. But either way, we'll see you Saturday, and good luck.
All right, we look forward to seeing you there.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
We're always moving. Scratch that. We're always moving forward. But forward can sometimes look a little backwards. Or like circles. Or like nothing at all. But we never stop. We never stop because life never stops. It's hard to stop a train.
Welcome back to TSSR Weekly, as we're going to run through a little bit of highlights. The game just ended, so West Prairie did lose. So it will be United versus Harpsburg-Menden tomorrow night for the championship of the regional, here live on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. So without further ado, we'll do a little highlights here. The first one we have is the United versus Bushnell game, as we're going to get set up here. Bushnell, last game of the season for them, but they did put up a very nice fight, losing in 2 games, but still coming up as a very, very good team of this United. Gilfillan goes in with the kill. They got down early in this first game, couldn't pull themselves out, but had some very powerful shots, as you saw, to that far side. United was just able to keep it going. Aaron Jackson comes in with the ace, had a couple of aces on this for this team. Bushnell playing very well. Get set up. This is Gilfillan. Will shoot this one down to the far corner as the Red Storm will take the first game. Trying to come back. That's Katie Rotifer with the serve, and just unable to be played as it comes off right in front of the crooks of the arms of the United defender. Shanti Strange takes that one and just, wow, right in front of the defensive lineman. And boy, she just about slid halfway across the floor with her face, as we're going to try and show this one again. That's just perfect placement with that jump serve. She's been pretty good with it all year. As you could see, that United player was playing farther back than they would have. However, United will take that game and advance to the championship. Next up will be the West Prairie football team, as they went into Metro East Lutheran right next to the Southern Illinois campus. This is going to be a punt that's going to go right into the end zone. He's going to miss the punt, looks to go and kick it again. However, he's just going to fumble it into the end zone. That is going to be picked up by Clayton Hunt, and Clayton Hunt's going to get the touchdown for the Cyclones. Next drive, this is Ashton Barkley, just throws a beauty right to Rand Palmer. Palmer was just all over this game as the Cyclones took the lead early and never gave it back. A little miscombobulation from this Knights team, as Eli Leisman is going to get the fumble that gets returned for a touchdown. As you can see, this is going to be a running trend, as multiple injuries forced the Knights to have multiple different quarterbacks in the game, as the Cyclones come up with another one. That is Eli Leisman, his second fumble recovery of the day, third for the team. 24-8, and Barkley will throw this one again to Rand Palmer, and Palmer right between two defenders, playing beautifully as he's able to go between the defense. As this is going to be a kickoff, 30-8, and number 16, Carter Hitz, shows how his name came to be, as he just throws defender down. And coming through, Rand Palmer is going to take this one over and over and over through three people, stiff arms another one, and he'll score the last score for the Cyclones team. Cyclones will take the game 44-8 and will advance to the playoffs against the Polo Marcos later Saturday. Last up will be the West Prairie volleyball game against West Central, against the Heat. This would be the quarterfinals for the regional championship. However, just as we had just said, today Cyclones did lose their semifinal game, so it will be for the championship the the United Red Storm versus the Harpsburg-Enden. If I could pick this back up, the Harpsburg-Menden Stags. Cyclones played very well this game, as you could see. Vanonic and Kinley Welsh getting multiple kills. And this one will be another great shot, just right over to the far side of the defense. Kinley Welsh playing well. Despain also had a great game for the Cyclones, as she normally does. The Cyclone team did not go as far as maybe Terry Paul might have liked. However, over the entire year, the Cyclones played very well, very good volleyball, and were pretty much one of, if not the best team in this regional, just a little bit short here in 3 games. As Despain shoots that one to the far side, this is the clincher here. Just a beautiful serve by Vanonic as she takes on one to the far side that will win it. So, coming back, once again, West Prairie did just lose in the semifinal match, so it will be United Red Storm versus the Harpsburg-Enden Stags tomorrow night here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH, as we will be showing the championship game for the regionals here at West Prairie. I've been Ken Suter, and hope you've enjoyed this little shortened version of TSSR Weekly. We couldn't really do it live as we were doing the volleyball varsity game here. We had 2 people doing camera in the stream, and Dwayne, the line judge, greatest line judge ever, had to help fill in. So I'm here by myself, got everything working, hopefully. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and we will see you next time.